Hammer's worn. I just got this hammer last July.
The stuff that was brought along.
I have one of these.
Made, right?
But
shit, man.
right before he came to Colorado, the contest I was at,
Sorry,
they built a brand new shop in Abilene. Jim and Kathleen did. They're moving everything over there. So they're cleaning up the old shop. He found 3 of these in the corner of the old shop. They forged out in the 90s laying there. They had to throw a handle one and bring it. I had to be the first one to say hi to him, so I got it. So take that. But they're real nice. The difference between a milled hammer and a forged hammer is night and day. That's why you swing Tom's hammers or people that make tools. It's totally different than what you buy. All right. So hammer swing, you want to be in the middle, so you can tell by where that's worn out. In the less than a year I've had it, you can even see where my thumb stays in the corner groove. All right, because it moves in my hand all the time, and I'm close to the head of it. I'm not here. As soon as you come back here, then your arm's doing all the work, elbow and everything else, and you're having to grip. So you get this really awesome pain right there. So, a real easy way to evaluate your hammer swing is just watch your handle when you swing. Your handle should come away from your arm and come back. If it's doing that, then you're not gripping it. But if it stays the same distance, you got the old grip, pull and blow. So I can always watch people forge. I can tell everybody that cold shoes, really, because their horn is really shiny right here, and that's their turning cam, and they do everything from here, right? Nothing from here. Everybody turns around. So that's the easiest way. So being efficient and shaping shoes is learning how this little thing works right here. So I know you guys have all heard 100 times. Every shoe you'll ever shape is right here. Every foot you've ever trimmed, everything we got is all right here. Every one of them, all the arcs. So if you work hard, what's that one?
3. Delta 3. I just got
That's what I'm talking about.
And appreciate it.
Oh, sorry. I meant in the perfect spot.
Cap. Yeah, you did my cap.
Cool. So I'll make does anybody here use that equilibrium shoe? Yeah. Yeah? So, me and Teresa was so nice to say, I'm going to show you guys how to make an equilibrium out of these cheaper shoes. So you don't have to buy them. Real easy. It's a really good shoe. So everybody has high-low horses, right? I always wonder how to shoe high-low horses. It's a big thing. Do we add the pad? Is it leg length security? Because it's big security. And all this stuff, because you're going to fix them, right? So this big account that we do all the time, we shoe between 70 and 80 in front because we have to shoe when they have issues. So a lot of high-low stuff from injuries. Late leg, that foot's going to get smaller, stand on the other one all the time. So what I'll do is I'll build a solid bull shoe for the back foot, the run forward foot, flat one. So I just take the whole section of the shoe and turn it up all the way around. You know that trim I showed you guys? I got to thinking, wait a minute. So with 45 all these feet to gather them, and they stay together really good, and they don't run forward, and then we trim this shoe, these flat feet back. They're like this. We nail this flat shoe on them, like this. So when you come back, it always drops to the bottom. Your clinches are stuck out at the top. Is everybody with me? Follow me along? Mine's only really bad horse shirt here. All right. So why not just take a shoe and shape a shoe that's perpendicular to my football? Right? You burn it on. Those feet will look just like that when you come back in 6 weeks. Put the pinch on your nails. Now you can drive your nails up. Right? It puts the brake over. This is all the natural balance people in here. Listen real closely. It moves all your brake over to the frog, to the center, and you turn that shoe up, right? So however wide your shoe is, you just moved all that much closer to the corner frog. Now build this little shoe here. I'll demo here in a second. Yes.
That doesn't get it. He's on the side of the shoe.
No, the whole shoe. Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing. So on the up foot, I'll build a little equilibrium shoe that's flat on the foot, puts all the brake over all the way to the inside of the section from the bottom. Shape these up for fluffy. I have a system, just like I told you guys, I start above the full ring on the lateral. I'll top the horn, quarter bend, all the way to the middle. So where am I going to fit to? The middle of the section. So you need to shape to the middle of the section. Medial side, I start on the nail hole. Skip my quarter bend. All the way to the center. Alright, do a little measuring. Probably not going to be too far off. Right there. I don't know if you guys can see from there, but can you see how the side of the shoe closest to me is higher, farther up? Everybody get that? Alright. So I have material now for the outside of my foot. We'll go over there and look at that horse here in a second and see if his foot looks like that. Let me show you this other cool shoe real quick so you start listening. It's pretty hard to do. This is the foot side. Yep. What are you talking to? Just like boxing, keep your hand low, push your hammer up. Don't drag it out. It'll make your shoe too coarse. You can do this as far in as you want. It's pretty smart to go to the nail holes. Just grab it. Turn it up. I don't know how wide this shoe is, but I just made my breakover a lot farther back and deep seated it all together. When you level, just hit the outside. So just by habit, I always build my left first, is right second. So I always put a little bit more on the lateral toe, because like we talked about a lot today, horses always tend to grow lateral toe more, right? So anyway, that's just a quick, easy way to make one. You guys can pass it around however you want. We'll go check out this horse's foot for.
Hey, you bring it back and start contact. He's got the nice ring in there.
I've seen it. Thanks, though.
What I want you guys to concentrate on is just the angle of the white line coming out of the toe. So I want you guys to see how this side of the white line is at this angle, and this side is at a lot less angle. Can y'all see that right there? Yeah. And that this part of the toe here is a lot farther forward than this part. Everybody good on that? Cool. So that's why you got to have more material to get out around this quarter and get back. So that's why when you don't offset your shoe like the one I just showed you, that you nail tight here and tight there. Does that make sense to everyone now? After all the sides this morning? Cool. that shoe may just be a touch narrow. We'll go grab it and look at exactly what it is. Over here, so I just started my outside branch above the fuller end. When I shaped it to here, I skipped, no hammer blow right there, and then shaped back to the end. So you guys remember when I was trimming the foot, what was I doing? Rasped to the widest part, skipped, rasped. So all I was doing was making a horseshoe, right? So all I was doing over there was thinking about what? My tread and foot. They do go hand in hand. Oh, there, babe. He's like, you got a hot shoe. Thank you. So, should just do some measurements, but we'll just kind of burn and see. Yeah, I should open it a lick. That's all right. We'll look here. The main thing when you're making shoes or shaping keg shoes is when you fit, you should have the same distance from the end of your burn to each heel. You should have the same distance from your burn to each heel the same. Right? If you find that you've got, most people, like, you don't do that, you'll have a big, long inside, it'll barely be covering the outside, right? Okay, so all that material that you barely cover here is sticking out that lateral toe for that horse to have to get out of the way. Yep. You got it. Cool. Let me just widen this a little and burn it on. For me, it's hard to buy a pre-clip shoe for this reason, right? Because I don't know, do they offset the clips in those new shoes? No. So to fit a toe clip like that on a pre-made shoe, it's hard for me because it's not going to be in front of the frog then. I'll have to move my clip to the outside and my foot to fit the way I fit. So I just line the heels up equal, slide it back. That's going to all look where it hits the anvil, the last spot, that's where I'll put a center point. Right? So I get my clip in the right spot. That's good. We're going to do this easy. You said you're going to make this easy. It is easy. What do you think? 16? That little triangle in the middle? So 16 to the medial. Get around. So if you guys took a soft tape and measured from that point out mound to heel, the other one's probably a quarter inch difference. Right? Cool. So clips. Clipping is probably, in my opinion, one of the hardest things in the world to get good at and consistent at. You guys all agree with me on that? Yeah. If you can learn to clip sections, any section, any type of shoe, man, you're a hand. You're a real hand because the clips are hard. It's something that you can practice every day, right? Yeah. So little things for me on clipping. Years ago, I met a guy named Tom Clark, great guy. Came up to this blacksmithing school, these hammers, and I like clipping with a square hammer for every day, being everything right. So the reason I like square hammers is like, have y'all been to Roy Bloom clinics? So Roy has this great analogy when he does a clinic. Says imagine a fresh pile of cow crap right here. Yeah. If you throw a volleyball in the middle of it, where's it all going to go? Everywhere, right? If you slap it with a broomstick, it's only going to go two ways, right? So everybody's having problems with their clips getting wide, not tall. Just get a square hammer. You'll just pull it right out. Okay. Look at that. Everybody's like, oh, it's that easy. And there's a few other things like you have to do. We'll talk about here in a second. So we already kind of talked about people's tendencies. So I'm going to get over here, get my tongs perpendicular to my clip. I'm going to hit straight down. All right. When I can't pull that off the anvil, I keep forgetting he's got this one little round spot here, right over. So when I can't pull it off, watch my hammer. I'm just going to tilt my head to the right. Did you guys notice how much that hammer moved over? All right, I didn't move my arm. I didn't do anything. Same swing, I just tilted my head. So if you look straight and then you go like this, you're gonna miss it. Okay? So just keep things. Look where my thumb is. I watched a lot of people yesterday clipping like this. Right? That's not good. On the good bad scale, that's bad. You have no control. Yeah. I kept going by over on this side, and I was like, that's a really pretty shoe. And I come back by, and it was clipped. I was like, well, surely that's not the same shoe. So just a quick recap. straight down. So what straight down does is that keeps you from having the big cutout behind your clip. So no more of the old this. It's a cutting tool, shearing tool, right? Keep it flat, as flat as you can. If you got quarter clips, then you know it's going to be that way a little bit, but still, keep it flat as you can. Another thing too, we talked a little bit yesterday about shape. Does everybody change the shape, right, when you clip? Okay, can you think about this? The more surface area you have on an anvil, the less your shape's going to change. Does that make sense? Cool. So, even if when you're starting out, if you need to cross your tongs, you got a big enough shoe, that's going to keep it more controlled. All right, but like quarter clips, the back, I have my tongs straight across from where I'm going to clip, perpendicular. So I have full control, right? Because if you have your tongs like this, it's always going to creep away from you. Always. So have your tongs straight across from your, wherever you're putting your clip, there. So now I can control this.
Symmetric to your...
Yeah, just like this line and this line. When you're using your hammer, again, this anvil is pretty cool. If you keep your hammer handle parallel to the edge, your clips will look good. They'll be in the right spot. My worst habit is this. Right? Dropping down. That's I'll tend to push my clips. So I got to think all the time when I hit, my hammer handle should be parallel to the edge of that anvil. Okay? So people that pull their clips to the side, they always get right here. The clips always come crooked. Right? Well, look at the angle of my hammer. It's got to be parallel to my anvil. All right? And it'll pull it straight out. I'm not very smart. I have to do things really black and white. Alright, we'll finish this flip up, do a little fitting real quick, and make some shoes out of stuff. Quickest way to kill a clinic is to start making horseshoes. You guys know that? It's crazy, isn't it? When I'm ready to go, I'll just start making roasters. I'll look up, there'll be two of you standing there. Well, I guess we're done for the day. Right, Teresa? I know I make fun of I give these guys a hard time that spend all their time and effort in associations and stuff, Mustad, but they do they do work really, really hard. Guys that compete are their worst customers, right? Their best people that make them all the money, pays her salary, is a guy that never even turns his forge on, right? So it amazes me when they spend so much money on, I don't know how many's on the Mustad list, but I know they pay me 10 grand a year to go around the country usually they don't have to pay because it's not benefiting them. They do it to benefit you guys and the horse. So if you guys would give her a big round of applause, I appreciate it. That right there, folks, is how you get out of trouble. You sure are pretty.
That's my line.
I know. I tell my wife that all the time. Keeps me from choking. Okay, second part of clips. At this stage right here, stop again. All right? If one thing I forgot to tell you guys is if you struggle, like your first blow with the center punch clip in the toe, your center punch is gone, right? So put another one behind it, and then that'll be there until your last blow of your bubble's there. So it shows you whether you're working one way or the other. All right? So just put one center punch behind the other, and that'll help you stay in the same spot. It'll start realizing your tendency of going away or coming to you. All right? The what?
When you make the bubble.
Yes. Okay. Second time. I gotta learn how to understand that. I'm struggling. I'm from the South. I can understand anybody. I'm really struggling with him. It's like he's got a bumblebee in his mouth. I just don't know what's going on. I just can't understand him. So, second part of clips, and he's a great sport. And he's coming to my house. So, the end of your bubble should be the same thickness as the edge of your section before you pull the clip. So do you guys follow me on that? So when you get done at this point right here, the end of your bubble should be the same thickness as the edge of your shoe.
No matter what stock.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, roadsters. It's not going to be 5/8 thick, but you get what I'm saying. Like any flat stock. Yes. So is everybody with me on that? Okay. Yeah, see? So like whatever that is, should be the same thickness as that. Okay, nice and flat behind it. All good. Okay, so I'm giving you guys a lot of stuff to check while you're practicing. Okay, so take the time to practice. Just don't do. Don't be a person that shot horses for 20 years with 1 year's experience. Right? Be a person that has 20 years of experience. Which means you change every year, I hope, or every horse. Yeah, that's how it is, man. I love that. Yeah. That was the coolest thing about this last year for me. I'm getting older now. I'm considered one of the old guys, you know. So looking back now and being on the team with Cody Gregory, who's 20 years younger than me almost to the day, you know. And then Lamar's 30, Tom's 30. You know, like it was a great year because I felt like I was finally in a position, been on enough teams and done enough clinics and talked to enough people that have done this forever that I was in a real spot to learn finally. So I think that's why I learned so much this year with those guys. Why we had such a good time, you know, together. We all worked as a team. Everybody had their strong points, you know. It was cool. They got the parking, handicap parking because of me and stuff. It was awesome. Everybody was happy. All right, so pulling the clip. Again, I want my tongs parallel to my bubble. That was the same thing with him earlier. So, coming up here, tongs parallel, hammer parallel. Don't draw. Forge, straight down. Till you get your tip out where you want. So I'm just using the corner. I just made my tip. However I want it shaped. If I want it tall and pointy or fat or whatever. Once I get to that point, then I'm just going to hit flat. Cool. So get a nice thick at the bottom. So then evaluate again. Holy crap, I'm always thin on this side of my clip. So that means when I'm here, I got my hand too far up. Okay, all right, next clip, let me get this down. So that simply means moving back because you're trying to clear the anvil if you pull it here. So you tilt your hand up. Back up, that way you can drop your hand down, hit square. Okay, personal preference for me, I'm not a fan of the bubble coming past the foot surface, the source hole. All right, for me. The reason for that is no one's got a grinder set up and I'm not rasping it off. So you guys can do it when you get home. Just pull a big old source hole up into your clip and rasp that off, and 3/4 of your, or a quarter of your shoe will be gone. So you're just weakening the whole section. So I could rasp that clip off and you won't ever be able to tell from the foot side there was a clip on there. Does that make sense? Cool. So set clips. All year long, got my butt chewed because I have this great habit of not setting. I leave my hammer square when I come across instead of pulling my hammer down with the arc of the toe. So when I looked at all my clips, they look just like that one. This side of it was not in the shoe. I'd go fit, burn, and you could feel it right there. Okay? It's my habit. So I know now, tilt it away from me, and I start at my worst point now. Set my clip from this side over. So I can get them both the same. Okay? So again, now I just did all that dressing, got everything where I want it to have a clip sitting on there crooked. Not too bright, huh? So pay attention to your tendencies or what you do. All right. Okay, just get a touch of heat. And a fit. Yes, sir.